welcome back to another episode of the TMI
Matt and Tammy Show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I can start, Matt. So, Matt, you know that I like to begin our shows with a dating question for you, but first I'm going to ask you, how did your day go? What did you do today?
Oh, my day, it went by pretty good. Once, it was a little on the cold side this morning, actually. It was like, 10 degrees when I left for work and everything. And it would have been too bad, but it was a lot of outdoor work, but thanks to Carhartts and everything and keeping moving, stayed pretty warm. And then as the day went on, it got warmer. The sun came out, so...
The sun did come out. It was kind of
pretty.
pretty.
It was a nice day, actually. Like, towards the last half of the work day was really nice.
Nice and sunny out.
Yeah. How about you? How was your day today?
Well, I put up Christmas trees. Got this one decorated. Got the one out there decorated. Finished wrapping presents and got that type of thing going. And no, it was pretty good. It was a decent day. Just got done with dinner. Have a sink full of dishes like always to do. But no, good day. Good productive day.
Well, that's really good.
What's that?
They're done.
Oh, my husband said the dishes are done.
Oh.
Well, that's a plus. He must have did them.
Always a bonus.
That little dink by the sink did a good job. I'm sorry. He gave me that one. Anyway, my next thing is I always have a dating question that I want to ask Matt here. So today's question is, what is an important physical quality you look for in a woman? Like, what makes Matt say this woman is relationship material? I stumped you. What's the first physical quality? Say you're coming up a street or whatever, you're walking on a sidewalk and a woman's coming at you. Like, what's going to stand out?
Not to sound like shallow, but you got to be like physically attracted to that person, like, because it doesn't matter. So I have to say the looks and everything, and just like in general, like when you get to know someone, like for me, it's a personality, because you can be the quote unquote best looking person around, but if you got an ugly personality, then it's not even worth.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like the sense of humor, like my biggest thing is you got to get my sense of humor. You don't have to have the same sense of humor as I do, but I can't be explaining every joke to you that I say.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
No, I get it. No, it's definitely there. Looks is obviously one of the first things that grabs our attention. For me, I like eyes. Like, it's eyes, and because I don't know, eyes speak to me. Kind of like when you look at someone and they start talking to you, you can kind of really, I don't know, for me, that eyes really are what draws me to someone. Yeah. Like, it almost tells a story of who, it's like looking into their soul. Right. Kind of. But.
Well, speaking of which, I know we touched bases on, like, you told the story about, like, how you and Ed met and got together and everything. Was there, like, that one time to where either something that he said or did, or a certain moment between, like, after you met, like, oh my God, this is the guy I want to be with? Did you have that, like, particular, like...
I did, actually. I don't know if it was, like, aha, like, this is the guy, but because I don't believe really in the fairy tale type thing. I mean, when I met Ed, I don't know if I was 31, 32, somewhere around there. So I had already lived a little and knew that happily ever after is not the norm. Like, it's not. It's a fairy tale. The relationships are work. But the thing that stood out about him is, well, first of all, he's very funny. He had super good work ethic. I knew that right away. Yeah. But the one thing that actually cut me is he was honest. That was actually the thing. He was super honest, as far as I know. As far as I know, you're honest. But no, he was honest, and he told me straight up about his situation that he had going on, and I was honest, and basically, I don't want to say it was almost like an interview, but it was like, I remember our second date, we were walking down a trail over by Herman Vogler, actually, and I just stopped him, and I said, I'm just going to get this really, like, straight. I am, like, not going to be your mistress. I basically said that. I go, I'm not looking for that. I'm not, so it was the honesty, and then that he was kind of like crazy about me, so that helped. But
well, that's good.
Yeah, but that was the main thing. So.
And, well, obviously, as you know, today's a unique day. Today's Friday the 13th.
Yes.
And everything. And everyone, there's a lot of people that get so worked up about Friday the 13th because either good luck or bad luck or the superstitions, rather it be, oh, I saw a black cat cross my path, bad luck. Or pick up a penny with heads up, good luck. Well, what happens if you see two pennies on the ground, which this happened to me. One was heads up and one was heads down. Does that mean the luck cancels out or what? Or if both were heads up, does that mean I'm getting double the luck now? So
yeah. No, superstitions, obviously from my point of view, is something, it's fun to have those little quirky things, and we all probably, kind of like do that. But honestly, if you were to look into the Bible, it would tell you that is just basically a farce. However, people will definitely say, like, certain numbers, for example. There are numbers that just, for some people, just keep randomly coming up and can have meaning. But I believe, I don't know, I have a little bit of a, and it's hard for me to explain this exactly, because I don't know what you want to call it, like a unknowing, but it's nothing that I talk about really usually, except for like in small groups. This would probably be the first time I'm talking about it. I know I'm going around about it because I'm trying to figure out exactly the correct way of bringing it up. I'll just give an example. Sometimes, this has been happening since I was a kid, I know things, whether like in a dream form, I'll just put it that way, first time, and then it will happen. And I know that sounds very like mystical or whatever, like, yeah, everybody has that, stuff like that happen. But this is a little bit different. This is nothing that I want. And I made myself a little bit of some mental notes here because this is hard to explain. First of all, if you believe in Jesus Christ and you believe in God and the devil, there's good and evil.
Right.
And there's good and evil influences in our life that we don't necessarily see, but they're there. Anybody that believes in Jesus Christ knows that there's angels and there's demons. Where I'm going with this is those angels and those demons can influence us here on earth. Now, a lot of people might say, whoa, that's not true. That is absolutely 100% true. You don't have to.
And the thing is, like, you don't even realize what's going on.
Yeah. You don't realize it. And that's why I'm really cautious about, like, somebody, like, really believing in that superstition stuff, because obviously I believe, like, if people believe in something, like, say you believe in aliens, or say you believe you saw a demon, or say you believe in good luck, the devil is going to use whatever your belief is
and turn that against you.
He'll make it seem demons actually pose as angels of light. They tell partial truth.
Right.
And I'm getting this from the Bible. This is not just made up, but also I do have some experiences with this.
Now, like, okay, you say, like, how the demons will take form of what you believe in or whatever. Like, say, first thing that came to mind is gambling.
Yeah.
Because we know, like, it's a serious issue that a lot of people have to where people have lost their homes, their families, lost everything because they always go in thinking, hey, if I can just hit big one more time.
Yeah.
And everything goes, would that be like the devil telling them, like, hey,
that would be,
keep doing it, and
that would be I call it a stronghold over that person's life, which is influence, obviously from the devil, he's influencing it, but our sinful nature, our flesh also has a sinful nature that's just a stronghold, and the devil can use that, like, this person's weak point is this. So I'm going to keep pushing that. Yeah, that's a good example. And then sometimes it can get even more extreme in situations as well. What is another thing that you can think of about it before we go into that?
Just speaking of, like, again, like with the Friday the 13th, people had their own little superstitions about, say, using a Ouija board to conjure up spirits or, like, seeing ghosts and everything.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the whole ghost being out there?
I don't believe in necessarily ghosts. I do believe that demons, bad angels, basically is what that is, because the devil is actually a fallen angel. they can take on the form of whatever. Like, if you believe in ghosts, yeah, they can take on the form of that, for sure. Why I say this, and honestly, if you're a person, okay, like me, who knows that that's possible, then obviously they're going to try to mess with you a little bit more in different ways. I don't see like ghosts. I don't see per se stuff like that, but I've had things happen. I'm going to give just a little first glimpse of something about how I call it a knowing. Back when Israel was going under that attack back in, well, it was last year, October, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And before that even happened, and I'm going to first put, I don't follow the news. I don't watch any of that. It just kind of like gets me, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of false information.
It gets you down because like a lot of times like with the news, it just, they report on so much bad stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I remember growing up and
I know that can be naive with myself,
and like, we'd be watching the news either during or like after dinner. Mm-hmm. And my little brother, he's like, Dad, why is the news so depressing? Mm-hmm. And that's what, like, it was a week straight of nothing but depressed stuff. And like, maybe at the end of the week, they finally had like a heart lifting. They spent like 5 minutes on a nice heartwarming story, but spent the last 25 minutes on the bad that is going on.
Yeah. So I'm putting that out there though. Like, I don't watch the news because then you will know that I wasn't following anything. So I had no idea about, I don't follow like what countries are battling what countries or anything like that. And for like 3 months straight, obviously my husband, being married to me now we've been together 16 years, knows about a lot of things that I deal with. And I had mentioned to him for like 3 months before that, I go, something odd is just going to happen. And it just kept, like different dates were just coming up into my head. I won't get into all that. But there was just something. I just kept telling him, I go, I do not know, but something, I just feel something. But I just went on with my day. The night before that happened, that massacre thing where they went into and killed all those families and that, it didn't show me that in my dream. I don't know if this is a dream or what you want to call it, but it showed me that I was in a truck and I was hidden and I had this tarp thing over me and I was being transported. And then, but that kind of signifies, I'm like, oh, that could be a lot of things. But this is the part that was really, really like, why was I showing this? I had this knowing thing where I went into the dream thing was I went into this room, it had like cement walls. And what I pointed out in my dream was I was like standing there and I'm like, all these people, and I'm thinking in my head, how are all these people going to fit in this room? And then I looked over to the wall and I said, one couch. And that was a significant thing. I went like one couch and I was like looking at it. And in my dream state, I said that out loud. And then I turned and I was like, and one bathroom. And I remember saying that. And I was like, how is everybody going to share one couch and one bathroom? And then I woke up. Still don't know anything about what's going on in Israel. The next day, I turn on the news. It was like later in the day. I didn't even, not the news, but it came up on YouTube or something.
Okay.
It wasn't on the news, but then I went onto it to find it. We don't have actual regular TV. So It was some TV.
Probably something on Facebook or whatever. Yes. Yeah.
So I went on and I was like, there was this broadcast lady that was telling about it. But then later that evening, it showed a clip and it showed a lady going into this bunk room and it caught my attention. And I was like, because then I was following because I was like,
because that's what you were dreaming about, basically.
So I was like looking at what she was doing and I go, oh, that looks really similar. I go, then I was just like, nah, that's nothing. I always am trying to debunk all of this because I honestly do not like it. It kind of gives me an odd feeling. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. But
no, just do you ever think like no matter like what you're dreaming about, like do you ever wish like you could either record your dreams or take like a screenshot of your dreams and be like, hey, this is what I dream about?
Exactly. Yeah. No. In fact, I do write some things down, but not everything because it would consume my life and I would be like just paranoid and I refuse to live like that. But anyway, so this broadcaster's walking into this building and what does she do? She walks down to that room. She says exactly what I said in my stupid dream. She goes, one couch. And I look, I'm like, crap, it's that couch. And then she turns and she goes, and one bathroom for all these people. And I'm like, oh, come on. I mean, it was just like, So it's just really random. And then I feel afterwards, though, I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do with that? And then I started watching the videos, and there was nothing really more other than that little tidbit. But I was just like, oh, that was just a horrible, horrific sadness. It's just devastating. I can't imagine. I watched quite a bit of that type of stuff after, like on that. That was very sad. But I was just using that as an example because that was a very odd, crystal clear one that didn't make much sense at all to me because there's absolutely nothing I could have did with it. I mean, I prayed. That's the number afterwards, and I felt bad, but horrible actually. I remember just being sobbing, honestly. That was very sad. But so, is there anything more before I get to that balloon story that I've told you before?
Oh, the balloon story. That is a good story. Well, since I mentioned ghosts and spirits and everything, why don't we kind of tell the balloon story? Yes, tell the balloon story.
All right.
Refresh my memory, Tammy.
Oh boy, people are gonna think I'm nuts, but I'm not, honestly. So, mostly everything that's happened to me before in life has always been what I just explained, like a dream form, and I have lots of different things, but we're not gonna go into all that. This is the first. And you gotta understand, I do not go through my day searching for these things. I don't want this to happen. I don't understand it. I really want it to kind of like be left alone, but yet I don't want to disregard it because I feel if it's being allowed, I don't believe that God causes any of this. I believe that he allows it and it's for a bigger purpose. Honestly, I think it's just to realize, like the paranormal realm is to realize the spiritual battle that Christians face. And if you're a person that's aware that that can happen, obviously you're probably going to see a little bit more of that. I don't know, maybe a closer connection in that regard. I'm sitting in my house. First, I have to say, we do not have forced air. We have, it was fall time of last year. We do not have forced air. We have a boiler? Mm-hmm. A boiler. And I'm so thankful that Ed was home to witness it. Otherwise, actually it happened to him. Otherwise, I would have felt like I was losing my mind. So, first of all, I don't care for the LOL. It's about a LOL balloon. Obviously, the balloon has no power. I'm going to put that out there. But on the balloon, it has LOL, which is laugh out loud, and these little Barbie figure things. And my granddaughter has this balloon.
No, you don't like
it's a helium balloon.
So you don't like the LOL itself, or?
I don't.
No?
No, I feel that, I don't care if somebody says laugh out loud. It's the LOL dolls, they're actually promiscuous. And they're geared towards little children.
Oh.
And even Barbies can be promiscuous, but these are really, I don't know. So anyway, the thing that whole series irritates me. So this balloon has been around in our house at that time for a while. It was given to Ivy at one of her, I don't know what it was, some kind of summer thing, because it was spent in the darn balloon held its helium for a long time. It was like half full. And it was down in the basement.
Well, technically it'd be half empty. Because it lost.
Oh, what is that thing where the glass is half full, half empty? We just did the opposite of what a person would view that as. I don't know what you call that.
Pessimist or optimist.
Ah, thank you. Pessimist or optimist.
Right.
So what would I be? The pessimist or the opposite?
Optimist, I guess, because you're like half full. But I was like, well, technically, if you're pouring something into a glass, you're filling it up, you stop halfway, that's half full. Now, if you're dumping it out of the glass and you stop halfway, that's half empty because you want to empty it. But anyway, that's my stupid little.
No, it's good. Yes. I took that a little far. So you can distract easy, but probably because I'm nervous about telling the story. This is weird. Okay.
Okay, so balloon.
Yes, the balloon has been around
half filled. There's half of the helium left in it.
Exactly, and the darn thing has been hanging out in my basement for quite a while at this point. And every time I would go by it, I just would. I don't know, in my mind, look at that stupid balloon and be like, oh, that stupid balloon. And because I have to go down to my basement to do my laundry. It's on the opposite end of the basement. Ivy's playroom's down there, so she has this little bedroom area and stuff. But anyway, so this balloon's way down in the basement, and I wish I could show you. Our staircase is way on the other end of the house. It would have to come up the stairs and into this room where this is going to be happening. So I'm in the bathroom fixing my hair or something, and Ed's in the kitchen. And all of a sudden I hear Ed go, And he doesn't really believe, like, I mean, he's never experienced anything. So he goes, Tammy, that balloon's up here. And I'm like, what balloon? That stupid LL balloon. And I come out and it's just like, it's like hovering next to him. And I'm like thinking nothing of it. I go, well, I'll take it downstairs. So I take it downstairs and I just take it down to the basement, kind of on the farther end. No big deal. It's down there. He's kind of like farther into this room and about 15 minutes has gone by. That dumb. And there's no windows open. There's no breeze. Our house is completely dead still. I don't know how to explain it any. Like, there is nothing happening in this house. No fans.
Yeah,
nothing.
there's no fans blowing around.
There's nothing
like
movement.
Right.
So he's a little farther in the living room area. And he's like, Tammy, that balloon's back up here again. I'm like, what? So I come out, and sure enough, the stupid balloon is hanging out by him again. It's like not stuck to him. Like, there's no static electricity. It's not full of whatever. Full of shit, buddy.
Yeah.
So full of. Anyway. So he's like, I don't know. So I take the balloon and I'm like, at this time I'm thinking, okay, there's something really going on, but I'm not going to give my power to, like, I'm not going to give in to whatever this weird thing that's happening. So I take the balloon. And first I should say, I'm not fearful of that stuff. I've experienced so much of these things that I'm over it. And I believe I have the love of Christ in my heart. And I totally believe, I mean, like, I don't know how to explain that. But anyway, so I take the balloon and I take it all the way down the basement. I take it way into one of our storage rooms and I tuck it behind clothes. So the balloon can't just slip out. And it's like this ain't a balloon that's got all this buoyancy in it. It's like half crinkled. Right. So it's stuck in there.
And it's pretty much like it's probably to the point where obviously since half full of helium or empty, it's not rising to the ceiling and we're just kind of like hovering.
Oh yeah, no, it's just
like it can float, but it's not sinking down.
But it's not. If you were to walk by it like before, it didn't even move. It was just kind of like limp, like just there. So I shoved the sucker behind the clothes and I pushed clothes in front of it. I go there. This balloon. I don't know why I didn't pop it at that point.
Right. But I'm sure there's a lot of people thinking like, why didn't you just...
I don't know if it was maybe I was wondering if it's going to happen again, or if I was just like, I don't know. My life is super busy.
Or at the same time, considering it was your granddaughter's balloon, you just don't want to pop it and have her explain.
When something's going on, I'm just thinking, actually, I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how freaked out Dad's getting over this. But anyway. So, I want to say a good 20 minutes goes by. And my living room in here is where we normally have our couch over here and the TV was there. So my husband was watching television at this point. And I want to say, like I said, about 20 minutes after that has gone by. And I'm down in the office now. I haven't been by him the entire time this has been happening. I know he's been upstairs, so he's not messing with me. And his tone of his voice, he's definitely not messing with me. I can hear the TV. All of a sudden, he's like a scared little girl. He goes, Tammy, that balloon is back and it's right in front of me. And I'm like, what the heck? So I go really slow at this point because I'm like, I'm not making any movement. I want to see what's going on. I come down the hallway, like from this way, which enters into this room that we're sitting in. And I come to see it. I'm out in the hallway still. And I look, and here's Ed, like stiff like this. And the balloon is hovering midway, like, I don't know how to explain it, like maybe like a little farther than you are away, but like that level in front of him, in front of the TV where he's watching, like just directly blocking. So that balloon has been messing with him this whole time. And I'm thinking, what the heck? I'm like, so then I'm like, all right, this is now really weird. And he's just stiff and he's not moving. It's like terrified. So I go down the hall right here. Like I'm right over here. And I go real slow. And as I come approaching, the balloon turns and looks at me. If a balloon could look at someone. And it just is like this. And I'm like about maybe 4 feet from it. And I'm just like this, and I'm not backing down. I'm just like looking at that balloon. Like Exactly. I'm like, oh heck
Get
no.
down here, throw
I'm like,
down.
this is not happening in my house.
You are not messing with my man balloon. No.
Exactly. And I'm no, seriously though, that is how I felt. So then I'm watching it, and it's like the balloon was afraid of me. I'm not kidding you. It comes like this, and it goes. There's this narrower spot that you have to get out of this room. Mm-hmm. And I'm on one side of it, and it's like, and it comes, and it's crouching the wall, like going right next to the wall like this.
Probably trying to sneak out.
Yeah. And it's looking at me though the whole time. And as it enters the bigger room out there, like it's moving. It's moving away from me. I'm not moving anymore. I'm still the whole time. So there's nothing like whoosh whoosh in it. It goes out into that room, and it like kind of just hovered a little bit, and it starts like, it's still like turned, like looking at me. And I take one step real slowly to it, and it went like this. It went boom, like that. And it shoots up on an angle. And then my adrenaline must have started. My heart started like racing. And I'm like, oh, heck not this is not happening. So I take another slow step, and it did it again. It went boom, real fast back. I go, this is the craziest thing that's happening. So it goes all the way up, like say, into the corner of the room. It wasn't in this room, but it's raising, and it's going to the farthest point. It can't escape the house. So I go up to it, like I lunge at it, and I grab it, and I go, bam, and I go, in the name of Jesus Christ, Satan be gone, and any demonic forces, I send you to Hades. And I'm just like casting out whatever this is, and I pop the balloon, and it went bam, like this. And I look into here, and my husband's just like stiff on the couch. He hasn't moved in bed. And he goes, that is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. It was awesome, but it was freaky. And for the longest time, I was trying to figure out why this was allowed. But I know now, honestly, I do know now. It is just to let me know that, because I do question sometimes if I have enough faith. I do. I'm forever talking to Jesus and God, like forever. I'm talking to him constantly. I have really, I don't know. I think because I was hurt when I was a child, and I really do feel that opened up something to where because I remember as like a little kid just praying for wisdom and just praying that God just, be with me, and just having that faith and that trust. My mother always talked about, faith, but I just remember really feeling it from a very young age, which I find to be, I don't know, I had different questions at a young age than what most little kids did. Yeah. And I don't know if that has something to do with it, but I just know that I find myself sometimes questioning, like, dear Lord, am I doing enough for you? We're not that we have to earn. You don't earn your way into heaven, but I just want to please him. And I know I falter because I think things that I shouldn't think. I am tempted by things that I shouldn't be tempted by. I want things that I shouldn't want. And sometimes, if you're a Christian, you know that. What are you laughing at?
I'm just thinking about the whole going like messing with my man. I'll get a bobby pin to pop your ass.
Exactly.
Or here comes Tammy with this like shotgun and starts blasting at this balloon as it's floating around the house.
Oh my word! Let me tell you, you got a balloon problem. I'm your girl.
I might have busted out 5 different windows, but I got that son of a bitch.
Oh my word, that balloon! I tell you.
It's just like the whole
I feel warm. I feel like I'm being really
it's just called, or think of like even the movie It with Pennywise, when you see the balloon, something bad's going to happen, so it's kind of yeah.
I don't know. It's just you got anything to add there, Mr. Odell?
No, I just remember that movie he's talking about.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was creepy.
I can't watch spooky
So
movies.
what you can say is you seen it, Ed?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
A long time
ago. Get it?
Yeah.
I've seen
it, yeah.
It.
Wah, wah, wah.
I seen it. I watched it. I liked it. It was okay.
That's a creepy
It was scary. Okay.
Such a dark. Oh my goodness, that's great. But no, I know I'm red. I know I'm flush because that's a very personal story.
Right. Not everyone would want to be talking about being haunted by a balloon.
No, not really, or even that type of stuff, because there's so many people that don't understand it. And I have, oh goodness, thousands of things that I could. If I really wanted to sit down and like talk about it, it would take hours and days and years.
Yeah.
So it's just, I guess that's why I know that Jesus Christ is so real, though, because it's like I feel his presence. And when it says that the Holy Spirit lives within you, the Holy Spirit does. And that each and every single one of us has been born with a measure of faith. And it's just what I guess this is a good way to put it. It's what we decide to put our faith in.
Right.
And that's where, and obviously the devil is here seeking to see who he may devour. I mean, that's what he's doing. His whole purpose of being the Prince of Earth right now and on here is to take as many of us with him to hell as he can. And I just want to be real. I don't want people to think that Christians, just because you say you're a Christian, you're like this goody. And that is not it. I struggle every single day with all kinds of things. And
yeah, I mean, by no means, like no one's ever going to be perfect.
No
matter what.
No. And if I'm not acting upon it, I might be thinking it. So it's like, I don't know. It's like a struggle, and I just want people to really get that out of their system, that just because there's you say you're a Christian does not necessarily mean, I mean, maybe there are those ones that think that they are, but I'm saying that's not when you say you're a Christian, that's not what that means.
Right.
It does not mean that. But I know we've all had different situations in life that we've experienced. So, but no, you have, and one thing that I was really happy about is I want to say is that I had courage through it. Now, courage does not mean that you're not afraid of it. It just means doing it afraid. And let me tell you, I was doing it afraid. I was thinking, I'm like, oh crap. If I for a minute see some kind of like thing come on, I think I'm just going to pass out.
Ed, you're on your own.
I just couldn't believe how he left me. He just like sat there and did nothing, like nothing. He's probably like, this is your choice or chance, whatever you want to say it. This is your thing, baby.
This is your exorcism.
Your exorcism. Oh no. But no, the best thing is to read your Bible and get to know Jesus if you want to know some stuff. Anything else that you can think of?
No, I think we're good. I mean, that was a nice little...
Do you have any other... trying to think. I know our next show, I mean, we can, if we think of something, we come back, but our next show is going to be next Friday, December 20th at 6:30 again. I was going to say, if you have any questions about any of this, or you have any ideas of things that we should do for a show, Yeah,
put them down in the comments and everything. Mm-hmm. Oh, it is just like, this is going to be an off-the-wall thing, but how many of you guys have been, were pooping during this segment how many of you were watching us while you're taking a crap? Put it that way. Because we're all on our phones, on the going through Facebook and everything.
That's so funny. Matt wants to know how many of you were pooping.
That's a stinking question.
Yeah.
Or as my husband always says, what are you doing? Pooping a sewer snake in there? Sewer snake. I'm like, he always messes with me when I'm going to the bathroom. He messes with me when I'm doing anything. But, and I talk with my hands, obviously, a lot. My granddaughter was watching a little bit of our segment the last time, and she goes, why are you talking with your hands? I can't even watch this. That's what she said.
The biggest critic you got.
That's what she said to me, and she goes, what do you keep looking at? Because I was looking at Annie or Ed the last time.
Yeah.
She goes, what do you keep looking at? I'm like, thanks a lot. Way to make me feel good. But, no, it was an interesting Friday the 13th special, and...
Yeah.
For our number 2
number two
episode. Anyway, you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Smell you later.
Smell you
later.
Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for watching.